Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Godzilla x Kong, the new empire. And this movie came out in 2024, and it's directed by Adam Wingard, who also directed Godzilla vs. Kong, Blair Witch, The Guest, and Your Next, and also the Death Note film that's on Netflix. And I haven't seen Death Note or The Guest, but I've seen Your Next, I've seen Blair Witch, and Godzilla vs. Kong, and I gotta say, out of everything that I've seen from Adam Wingard, I would say that this is definitely his best movie, even if that isn't saying much of anything at all, because I'm not a fan of any of his movies. In fact, I think some of them are downright god-awful, but this one was watchable at the very least. And surprisingly enough, I wasn't all of that bored while watching this movie. I found about 25% of it to be kind of dull, but the movie did move at a quick pace, and things were kind of stupid, and it wasn't afraid to be stupid. And there were entire scenes where it was just monsters on screen, or Godzilla, or just Kong interacting with other monsters, and that was something that I liked. And there were no human characters in sight, and that was like a breath of fresh air for this universe, because oftentimes we just get little bits of that action, and we just keep cutting back to the humans for absolutely no reason. Like, we want to see the fight between Kong or Godzilla either fighting each other or fighting other monsters. Why do we need to continuously cut back to human characters for no reason? And the visual effects in this movie, for the most part, looked good. There were a couple of moments where when a CG creature was wet, it didn't look that convincing, but for the most part, I thought it looked pretty good. And I liked Dan Stevens' character in this movie a lot. I thought he was the best human character out of everyone in this movie because he was the most entertaining. And like I said earlier, this movie didn't really waste too much time, and it's slightly under 2 hours, and it felt closer to an hour and a half, honestly. And despite me finding some of the movie to be kind of boring, once it picks up, it really works for me. Like, the second half of this movie, I wasn't bored at all. Was I invested in anything? Not really, but it was moving at a pace that I was fine with. The characters weren't annoying me to no end. And the humor in this movie, it didn't really make me cringe. It was mostly just like, that happened, and I just didn't laugh. So I guess that's somewhat of a positive. I didn't find this movie to be cringeworthy. My criticisms with this movie is that the action scenes felt a little too video game-like, and I just wish that it was a bit more like Godzilla King of the Monsters, where the kaijus actually felt like big monsters and not like video game characters. In this movie and in Godzilla vs. Kong, they do a kind of move and are treated a bit like video game characters, and it does lessen the action as a result. But I will say this much, the action in this movie was better than Godzilla vs. Kong. I feel solid on that. And there were some points in the movie where the shots were a bit too close in the action scenes, but for the most part, I was able to make out what was going on, and I'm not upset that I watched this movie. I didn't feel like it was a huge waste of time. Did it connect with me? Not really. Will I rewatch it? Probably not, but it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth by the end of the day. So we got that at least. The music choices were fine. It just felt like they were plopped onto the movie because that's what someone decided to do. And it was like, yeah, this is there. It didn't really add anything to the movie, in my opinion, but it didn't take away from anything at the same time. So it was just kind of in the middle, and that's how I feel about a few things about this movie, is that it was just in the middle, like, yeah, this is fine, I can go along with this, this is acceptable, and that's the whole movie. It's mostly acceptable, so if you're a fan of the MonsterVerse movies, then check this movie out. If not, then you don't need to see this movie. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Godzilla X Kong The New Empire, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Portrait of a Lady on Fire. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.